All right, it's the end of January. Hey, Brock, Clint, how's it going so far today, this week,
Excellent.
this month?
Great start to the week.
Awesome. Winning January, I assume.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of
yeah,
course.
Looking forward for February already.
Yep, me too. Well, we're gonna do a look. We're gonna do a quick hitter today. I'm calling it the fourth power. Um, Ask Argent Alpha Anything, A4. But we have enough acronyms, so I couldn't call it A4. We got it's just more confusion. So the fourth power. So first one, we're just gonna go around real quick. Clint, what are the most effective habit stacks you recommend for men over 50? Let's just dive in. What do you just personally? What are some habit stacks you really like?
yeah. And this is going to be nothing profound because these are the things that we've been working on since day one, right? So morning habit stacks is obviously hydrating. One of the first things is hydrate. With I like Himalayan sea salt and lemon, and just get hydrated. My morning routine, obviously, my reading and my journaling. And then just winning the day. I mean, once I do that, that's stacked, and the day is won as far as I'm concerned. The morning is won, I guess. So
Got it. How about you, Brock?
Just on repeat here, morning routine. It's the way that you set the intention every single day. Like I know exactly what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter what kind of sleep I got, what mindset I'm in. When I wake up, whether I'm crabby or just ready to go, it's just you get through that morning routine. For me, it's water, coffee, listening to something inspirational, taking notes, communicating with my girlfriend, foam rolling, doing some body weight movement, like thinking through my entire calendar, framing up what I'm eating for the day, when I'm working out, kid stuff. I mean, that's all in a matter of just like a couple minutes there. When it comes to a workout, a habit stack, I love mobility, doing some sort of stretching, dynamic movement before you get in so that you're just ready to go. All your muscles are firing. What a great habit stack there.
Yeah, and for anybody listening, if you're not familiar with a habit stack, it's taking an existing habit you already have and then putting a new habit on top of it, stacking it to make that new habit more likely to stick. And so, a real super tactical but effective one that I have been recommending for a long time now is when you eat dinner, immediately after eating dinner, brush and floss. Stack that on there because you're less likely to eat afterwards. Almost nobody wants to brush and floss a second time in the evening. And when you do that, you go to bed with your dinner fully digested. You're going to sleep better. You'll not snack, which is a killer for a lot of guys. I mean, for me, it's the salty snacks. Some guys, it's the sugar stuff. So brush and floss, stack that right. If you don't eat dinner, this won't work for you. So hopefully you're eating dinner, and then you stack this habit on top of it. So
What if you don't like flossing?
that's another. Well, if you brush, then stack flossing on top of there.
I'm just,
So, what if you don't brush? Okay, then you
uh,
got other issues. We can't help you with it, Arjun
it's the
Alpha.
wrong group.
Right. All right. Let's talk about nutrition. If you're going to tell a guy one nutrition upgrade he can make today, what would it be? Brock, you'd go with the first with this one.
I like the protein heavy first meal of the day. It gets the ball rolling, and if you have that protein, it gives your body a chance to digest it. You're energized throughout the day, and you could almost put it on cruise control for lunch and dinner. That way, I like, front loading most of your day with water, with workout, with mindset, all of that stuff.
Yep. So get protein. Like, how many grams do you like guys to get like in that first meal?
This is gonna 100 grams I shoot for personally, so
Okay.
like I mean it all is all relative. If you're just starting out, it might be 50, it might be 60, 70, 80, depending on what your goal is. Like I try to get close to half of what I'm going to get for the day in that first meal.
Yeah. And anybody knows Brock knows it. It must be working because we know you're fit with a body comp and athletically and strength wise. So that works. And just again, for anybody listening to this, if you're the average guy and you're not an Argent Alpha, 50 grams is probably too much because you're probably either A, not eating protein first thing in the morning at all. Look at what most guys eat: oatmeal, just a total insulin spike, um, or bread or bagels or nothing, or sweets or a shitty drink from Starbucks that's loaded with something. So, and 50 grams is about 8 ounces of animal protein. So most guys start with at least 30 grams, which is going to be maybe 4 or 5 ounces of something. It might be, that's 5 eggs roughly, right? We'll get you to about 30 grams of protein.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just thinking about it and acting on it, I think is a great way to, yeah, I agree with you. That's a perfect one. Clint, how about you?
Yeah, there's so many. I got to agree with Brock on the protein. One thing we heard a few years ago at the live event that always stuck with me is get off the carbs, get off the couch. And so, I mean, your definition of carbs for nutrition, I don't know if this is so much a habit stack, but, you know, so much of it, your definition of carbs and what are you fueling with is the most important thing. And if it's not protein first, then there's already, things to talk about. But that would be mine. Get off the carbs, get off the couch.
Yep, got it. Mine would be, well, a little background. Right now, about 75% of men in the US are overweight or obese, which means they're in insulin resistance, which means they're adding fat and they're inflamed, which goes to Clint's point about bring the carbs down. I would say bring the processed foods down a lot. Swap whole foods. Think apple, steak, eggs, fruit, vegetables, meat, not grains. Swap that out, and that'll help you a lot. And then Brock's point too, protein. I mean, up protein, bring down carbs, focus on whole foods. You'll change your life. The average guy would. You will no longer be fat, assuming you're not a liquor pig. You gotta get off. You got to bring the booze down too.
It's astounding to me when you talk about what you just said there. Your single and your SIFT concept, single ingredient food test. Single ingredients, like, oh my gosh, when I think about just single ingredients and just like fuel myself that way, it's so simple. You hear from people and it's just like, I mean, we're so brainwashed or just like have completely lost track of where things are at, how processed of a food environment we live in. But it's crazy when you get people thinking like that. And guess what? When you're eating single ingredient foods, you could probably eat a lot more food than you think you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
single ingredient food, quality, quantity, timing, right? Right from Peter Attia.
Yeah, well, and Clint, you got me. I mean, I was initially, when we first met, I was a little bit more quantity driven, so calories. And you've convinced me it's like, no, quality's number one. Because if you focus only on quality, you almost don't have to worry about quantity,
Yeah.
right? Or way less.
Totally.
And it goes right back to single ingredient foods. It goes back to, I call it your definition of carbs, right? Like it all ties together. You eat quality food. I like stuff myself. I can eat quality and eat all I want, So
Yeah, no, Brock, you don't count vegetables as carbs, right? I mean,
I count veggies. It's just protein and veggies are literally what I count, or those things right there. You don't count. I don't count carbs for most people, but by the time you get people eating the right amount of protein, the right amount of vegetables, fruits in there as well, it's just like there's no room for anything else.
Yeah.
You're cooking with some kind of oil, you might have a handful of almonds or something like that, or avocado or whatever. I mean, you're getting your fats in regardless. So
Yeah. All right, let's shift gears into training. If you were going to recommend one movement, and I know that's limiting, but just to get you to focus, one movement to a guy over 50 who's not completely sedentary coming off the couch, but maybe isn't also a warrior yet, what would the movement be?
easy.
Go for it.
Step ups.
Step ups. All right, awesome. Tell us more.
If you're doing it right, being able to activate your glute, if your knee is far out over your pinky toe, you're keeping your core braced, you are building up such good glute strength, your hip mobility, depending on the height of the box, is going to be really good. You're going through full range of motion. And then think about what that movement is. It's basically like half a squat, right? Or a squat on one half of your body. Being able to do it on both sides, it just like that unilateral training builds not only strength but stability, both pillars in Peter Attia's framework, that we largely follow. And it's just like when people have really good step ups, their knee pain a lot of time goes away. Their low back pain is non-existent because they're building up their glute strength, assuming you're doing it right. So if you're not doing it right, if you're looking and your knee is right over your toe, not right. If it's coming inside, not right. You want that bad boy out maybe at like, if you're a hand on the clock, maybe at like 2 o'clock on the clock, or there. It depends on your mobility, your range, your levers, all that. But step ups, no doubt.
I like it. Bang for the buck. big time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's real life application, hiking, going up. Um, no, that's great. Clint, how about you?
Yeah, I thought Brock was going to consider mobility one movement, so that's where I was going, mobility. And I don't know. I mean, if Brock says it's step ups, I got to go with that. I'm not knowledgeable enough, but my head was kind of going. I was thinking push, pull, hinge, squat, carry. Which one is going to be the one? So maybe to complement the step up, I think a carry would be extremely important. And that can look like even from a farmer carry or a suitcase carry to an overhead carry. Brock, I don't know. You could comment more on that if that would be the next,
Well, think if you couple those two together, like we're not just making the best gym monkeys. We're like doing this to be able to do what we do outside here, which is, like you said, Scott, hiking, rucking, you climbing up a mountain or doing anything with a pack on your back. You are working on like step ups and then carrying. I mean, those are two great things. I mean, if you need a little break, get down and do some push ups.
Yeah.
Clint, I really like that one because I think one, you hit grip strength with that, which is again correlated to longevity. You're going to have a cardiovascular component because anybody who's done heavy enough weight and enough time and the right pace, it's a hell of a cardio workout.
Yeah.
And then if you do the suitcase carry, so one side, you've got unbelievable. I'm just thinking, all right, now the core strength you got to have to really stay aligned, and then the suit or the farmer carry, you weight in each hand is it's just a badass. I mean, to me, that'd be if we were going to come up with our top five movements, farmer carry's got to be. It'd be hard to push a farmer carry out of the top five.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, mine would, which kind of ties into to you guys. What I would recommend to a guy is a trap bar deadlift, and the reason I'd recommend it is you can get it. It's a pretty safe movement, and it gets I think it helps guys build confidence because sooner than later you're going to be lifting weights, and the numbers are going to give you some confidence. Like you're going to be lifting your body weight for reps, and that feels good. It's like, man, I'm a badass. And some. So if you don't have access to a trap bar, maybe a leg press. But what I like about the trap bar is you got to engage the lats. You got to put your shoulders back. You've got to have good your back curvature. What do you call that, Brock? I mean,
Neutral spine.
Neutral spine, yeah. And you can get pretty dramatic gains over the course of 30, 60, 90 days. And I think that helps guys unlock the confidence like, hey, I am strong. And that will translate into whatever else you're doing. So to me, it's a confidence builder.
Hey,
That's a good one.
Everything you guys recommended, I think they all make total sense for somebody. Just whether you're a veteran or just starting out, they all have a place.
Hey, just high level, educate me on trap bar deadlift. I've done a few. I know Judge lives by those. I always figured that was kind of an in between of a squat and a deadlift. Is that correct? So you're hitting the best of both?
Kind of, yeah. And it just seems like it doesn't have the risks with either the deadlift or the back squat. And a lot of guys getting whether it's shoulder mobility in order to get the bar on the back to actually do a proper back squat or a front squat. Front squat's even harder with shoulder and wrist mobility. It's just more accessible, and and I don't think it fries your CNS, your central nervous system, like a deadlift will. I mean, if you're into deadlifting, that's like a once a week thing. I think you can do trap bar deadlift 2 times, maybe even 3 times a week, like you can with squats. Brock, what would
I
you
agree.
say?
No, I agree too. And what I like about it is just it engages your whole posterior chain. So posterior chain is the backside of your body. Think about like your shoulders got to be back, your lats are engaged. That puts your spine in a nice neutral position. You're building your glutes, your hamstrings. You're getting some hip range of motion in there. So like that posterior chain is super super important because you think about it. Every single person is just like you're slumped in your chair all day long. You're driving. You're sitting on the sofa. Sitting at your desk. It's just like to wake all that stuff up and activate it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, we're going to go a little faster in these last ones. We're going to go about another 7 to 10 minutes. So your one non-negotiable sleep tactic, I'll go first. Same bedtime within 15 minutes every single night, Monday through Sunday, with rare exceptions, is I rarely go to I never go to a 9 o'clock movie. That used to be a thing when you were younger. The Late Show never happens. Occasionally concerts, that's the exception. But I don't stay up for sports. I mean, 8:30, 8:45, it's lights out for me, non-negotiable. Clint, how about you?
You know what? I'm the pupil on this one, guys. I don't have necessarily a non-negotiable. I do go to bed early every night. I would say my non-negotiable might be I'm up early every day, around the same time. I don't necessarily have a sleep protocol, and probably something that the future I could learn, from you guys on for
You're on
sure.
Argent Alpha probation as of right
I know.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could get skipped on this one.
now.
50 burpees, please, right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anybody who knows Clint knows he's crushing everything. So even Superman has some kryptonite to work on.
Yeah.
Mine's staying
No,
up.
well, hey, we're quick though, Clint. But you're now wearing a wearable, so you've got more insights into sleep. And I guess
I do.
if your scores are solid, I mean, maybe there's no changes required.
Yeah, I've got some work to do. Like they're not solid, but I wasn't anti. I just didn't. It wasn't something I wanted to focus on was the wearable or the data. And having the data has been over the last year has been really helpful. And I know I'm lacking there. That's something that in my wheel of life can grow.
Got it. Yep. How about you? Sorry, Brock. Go ahead.
Mine is just staying off of screens, so largely leaning into the evening routine most nights. I mean, my kids throw me for a whirlwind every now and then, so some of the times it's literally just get them to bed and I go to bed. But if I have the time, which most of the time I'm able to plan out with them, I'm foam rolling. I like taking a hot shower. I do some journaling, do a little bit of breathing, that kind of stuff. Maybe do a little reading. So like keeps me off the screens.
Okay. Uh, Weight vest or rucksack? Which one and why? Clint.
Okay, I've got both, and I was always with a rucksack, and just got a weight vest. I like the weight vest. I, there's a reason. Like I've got two different applications, right? So if I need a big pack and I'm going to do a long hike, maybe the rucksack, with 30 pounds, but the 20-pound vest just feels great rucking. So
Yep.
uh,
Um,
no
I'll go.
favorite.
I'll go next. I've got both too. I would choose the weight vest if I only pick one because I can still ruck with it. I can do pull-ups with it. I can do push-ups with it. I can do air squats. I can do almost any functional movement at all with a weight vest, and it just makes it more intense.
Yeah,
You can do most things with a rucksack, but not everything, or
yeah,
it's just not quite as ergonomic, I guess.
yeah.
So, Brock, how about you?
I have both too. I guess it depends on what you're doing. If I'm rucking, without a doubt, the rucksack. Just doing. I do squats and push-ups in them all the time. Load that. I usually have between 30 and 40 in there. But if it's something like I don't know, just a normal workout or a little less intense, I'll have the weight vest too, and I like that. What I like about the ergonomics of the weight or the rucksack is that it pulls your shoulders back if you get the go ruck. If you
Yeah.
have just like a cheap backpack, I mean, you're gonna have, but it helps me not feel it so much up in my traps and upper back and even lower back. I love the ergonomics of it.
That's a good plug. We are not affiliated with GoRuck, but I'm a huge GoRuck fan too. The quality of the
Mhm.
products are
Yeah.
spectacular. And then I'm sure we'll get this as we train for our April event, but you probably will do both. Put on your weight vest, and then put on your rucksack on top of it.
Oh, baby.
Because we're going to be doing some stuff that will require a little additional load.
Hey,
It wasn't in the programming, but it is now, Clint.
I'm gonna plug a 40-pound sandbag too. You guys know I love that. And you just
Done.
get a 25-cent sandbag from Home Depot, fill it with 25 to 40 pounds, and it's just prime. There's something primal about that. So
Yeah.
a plug for them.
Done and done. Good ideas.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what we'll do one or two more. What is the one movement you want to be able to perform until the day you die?
I got it.
Sex excluded. Sorry.
That
PG.
that
Hip
for
thrust.
sure.
None of our kids
Burpees.
are listening to this, you guys. You're fine. Go for it.
Burpees.
Burpees?
Oh,
just because I mean, think about what has to happen. You have to be able to get yourself off the floor. I have a couple of clients I train right now where if they fell in a field, they wouldn't be able to get themselves up. They could lever themselves at the wall or whatever, but like you fall in a field, you're done, but like a burpee, you got to be able to press up. You got to have the hip range. It's somewhat of a squat and a push up.
That's mine. Same thing. Because you look at a lot of these testings that they do for seniors, and like Clint, you referenced the elderly, kind of that stage after seniors, and they tend to be really they're not bad, but like the sit and stand test from a chair, or maybe it's grip strength, but they're all like very one dimensional elements or measures. The burpee gets everything, man. It's like getting down to the floor and up. It's upper body strength. It's cardiovascular. I mean, if you can still do 10 burpees in a minute when you're 60, 70, 80, you're doing something right, man. You're probably living a pretty good quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
Clint, you got anything different?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna regret saying this with you guys on here. I haven't fallen in love with burpees. So now I know Brock's gonna program them for me extra.
Big mistake.
Yeah, I know. But I will say that's a great one, and just getting up and being able to get up with no hands. We could go into all that, but it looks pretty awesome when somebody who's, elderly doing is, that there's a plug for that. Or
Oh, you cut out Clint. At least man. What's the movement?
Pull-ups.
Pull-ups. Got it.
When you see an old, just an older guy doing pull-ups, there's a bunch of guys on Instagram and stuff. It's pretty impressive. So
Yeah, and chances are if you're able to do pull-ups, probably the rest of your life is going pretty well too.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, last question here. All right. I might stump you this one, but maybe not. What is the single most impactful life-changing habit or system that you've implemented?
Easy.
Go for it.
Morning routine, without a doubt.
Morning.
It has changed every aspect of my life and sets me up for success every single day. I think I've mentioned on every single podcast, it is the most meaningful thing that I've done and will continue to do for every day of the rest of my life.
Clint?
Yeah, for me, I don't know if it's a single thing, but it has to do with mindset and just what we've worked on here for the last several years. And I would say future self is in there. It's just life changing once you grasp that and create the vision to start moving towards.
Yeah,
that's great.
I think for me, at least the one I've been using a lot recently is, and it's a framework that's worked great, and I don't see why I'd ever go away from it, is writing my own story, the hero's journey, and then choosing the role I play in it. And that's the hero and or the guide, which helps you recognize when you're in victim or villain mode so you can get out of it. And it's like anybody out there, you're writing a story. You are the author, whether you know it or not, and you're choosing the role you're playing. So if you just look at that and you go, shit, I got a lot of work to do. That's a great realization. You can go and change it. And if things are going great, congrats. You're writing a story. But if you're not aware of it, then there's an opportunity to get better, period. And so some guys, it takes a growth mindset. You got to take extreme ownership, but no one's coming to save you. So, we hear that all the time. It's so true though.
I think
Good.
I think the theme from the three of us, Brock with the morning routine has to do with mindset and the reading, and then the future self, and then, the four roles. It all has to do with mindset is the theme, I think,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not the thing that probably attracts most people to this group or even to health in general, but how many times have we talked about it as the most important aspect of your health, your mindset, and a lot of times people feel like, I don't know how to measure it. I mean, we kind of all laid it out right there of like what your measurables are. And if you don't have a morning routine, you don't have a future self, you're not the hero of your own story. I mean, those are all three things right there you can actually put right into that mindset category.
Yeah. And I think at some point, stop asking so many questions and just do the work. Just, start ugly, start messy, just start, versus having to go read 10 books on it. And, what about this? What about that? Just start. Because those are usually a function of a fixed mindset, all the doubts and the questions. And so, and the way you fix that is just go get results. Start doing the work, get results. You'll shift your mindset, and it works. We've seen it happen to so many guys.
Yeah.
You know, I heard something that this week for the first time. It was the triple I framework, not triple A. It's kind of the same thing, different, but like we live in an information age, right? That's usually where everyone stops. Like they get more info, more podcasts, more books. I just like filling up. The second piece of that is like being intentional. You know, you gotta be intentional, just like our triple A framework. You go from awareness to, taking that agency, and then the third piece of it is implementation. So information, intention, and then implementing something. It's having that framework that makes sense to you. There's so many things that say it the same way, but I thought that was interesting.
That's really good.
It's funny when you apply that, then it's if you don't get any kind of result, it's just you just haven't done the work.
No,
It's
you're just on information overload.
yeah. I mean that yeah, awareness or information, uh, agency, intention, taking ownership, and then taking action on it. Yeah, it's right there. Just but you got to go through it all. But so many guys, well, they either don't enter awareness or information stage, they're just clueless. Then if they stop being clueless and they get information, then they tend to stop there and just keep accumulating knowledge, and then apply saying why it doesn't apply to them, lack of agency. But then if they get agency, it's like the action then probably is going to happen. It's
Hmm.
because you can't really have agency if you're not taking action too. They're pretty linked, pretty well connected to
Hmm.
each other.
Yeah.
Totally.
All
One
right.
last thing I'll say
Yeah.
on that is I've said it to you guys before. I've been in like this. I don't think I could. I feel like I'm have too much information that I have not been reading books or listening to as many podcasts, or it's just like I can't take on any more information. But it's Scott, you mentioned you're just in execution mode. You're in that implementation mode. So it's like if you find I think it kind of goes in whatever in different seasons that you're in, or kind of what stage you're in your career or life or whatever. But having that awareness and seeing where you're at too is another piece of it.
Yeah. Great point. Yeah, you're right. All right, guys. Well, thanks. This was a good one. The fourth power, the power of the four. What do we call it again? I'm
Fourth
blank.
power.
The
Fourth
fourth
power. Yeah,
power.
A4.
Brandon hasn't stuck yet. Um, but maybe we'll open this up in our community and get guys to submit some more questions. But these are ones that I gleaned out of a bunch of different posts in our community over the last few months, and conversations and that sort of thing. So I think it's gonna hopefully spark more questions about this stuff because that's
Yeah.
what's fun about this stuff is the more we answer questions and it just opens up new things. I wrote down a couple like step ups. Like I don't do step ups enough. I need to do more step ups. And then
Yeah.
I need the reverse, the coming down the hill or the mountain. I need the reverse step ups, just the lowering yourself off the box.
Oh yeah.
And so I think Ben Patrick calls it the Patrick step where it's the eccentric part of it going down. Get that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Eccentric.
anyway, well, thanks guys. We'll have a good week. We'll see you guys all next week.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
See
Thanks
ya.
guys. See ya.